Here we are in the middle of a series on staying focused on the most important things in your business. So today the question is, what should I be doing with my business? I am Mike Sutton with bebuildhave.com and welcome back. We're in the middle of a series. 2 videos ago, I started with how important it is to stay focused on what's most important to the growth and success of your business. So then yesterday, I think I convinced you how important it is for you to be the captain of the ship, the one driving, setting the direction. And so where do we go from there? What does that mean in terms of the day-to-day strategies and decisions that you have to make as you're being the one driving the ship? And that's what we're going to dig into today is what does it mean day to day to focus on the most important things that you should be doing with your business? The first criteria that you can use to make sure that your daily strategy and action decisions are aligned with what's most important to your business is, are they aligned with your goals and objectives for the business? A great example of this is what business we decide to take and what business we don't decide to take. It's natural to want to say yes to everything. If we say no, it feels like we're leaving money on the table or disappointing somebody. And if we don't have an overall goal or objective for the business that we can refer back to, then our default a lot of times will just to be keep saying yes, 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 yes. And then all of a sudden we find ourselves overextended and underpaid and making mistakes and not able to deliver and missing deadlines, and we're not moving towards our goals. But if we have that clear goal in mind, then every opportunity that comes in can be compared to that goal, and we have a way to evaluate and say, is this a good opportunity for me right now or not? And if it's not, then we can say no, and maybe there's a little bit of feeling guilty. That's only natural. But we know that the decisions that we make and the projects that we say yes to are going to be the projects that are going to move us forward, move our business forward, move us towards our goals. Another thing that's going to help us make better decisions on a day-to-day basis is to be able to compare those decisions to clearly defined core values. If I know what's important to me, then I can use that as I'm making decisions about how I want to guide my business. So for example, in my IT business, it was very important for me to be easy to work with. So I made my pricing all inclusive. I made myself the single point of contact, even if it was dealing with another vendor, so that my customers could always call me no matter what the problem was with respect to IT. I made the monthly contracts very easy to comply with, so there wasn't a lot of resistance to a long drawn out contract. So knowing that my core value was to be easy to work with, I used that to shape the decisions about how I would interact with my clients. Now, my core values include creativity and service. And so these videos end up being an excellent way for me to serve both of those core values and grow my business by getting in contact with people like you. And then finally, as silly as it sounds, we all know we live in a cause and effect world, but it's really to pay attention to that cause and effect relationship. So an example is, I kind of loosely based on a conversation I had with a coaching client. The coaching call was into the first week of the month, and the biggest problem that he had is he really wanted to hit his sales goals for the end of the month. He wanted, let's say, 20 new sales, and he knew that he had a 20% close rate, and so he needed to generate 100 new leads that he could close by the end of the month. Now, he also knows that his average close time for a new lead is about 15 days, which means to hit 20 new sales by the end of the month, he needed about 100 new leads before the middle of the month. Now, the decision had also been made to focus all their efforts on this new marketing funnel that was going to perform great for them and was going to help them reach their year-end goals. The problem was it wasn't going to be ready for 3 weeks. So even if on day one it generated all 100 leads that they needed, knowing that they had a 2-week sales cycle, there was no way they were going to close those leads in that month. So the solution they were pursuing had no possibility of solving the problem they actually had. Now, in the long term, it probably made perfect sense. It's absolutely going to help solve their annual sales goals issues, but it wasn't going to get them where they needed to be that month, and they were too close to the problem to see it. As soon as the owner was able to take half a step back and have a little bit different perspective on the problem, that clicked into place, and he realized that he needed a different strategy for the first half of the month while they were pursuing this new marketing opportunity. But they had to be real clear on what did they expect to happen and what did they know about the solution that they were pursuing, and make sure that those things were matched up. So matching up cause and effect, critically important as you're trying to make good strategic decisions. And again, it's easy to lose sight of that because we're too close to the problem, but that's really going to make a big difference in getting us the results that we want when we want them. So what you heard in that last tip was largely a matter of perspective. Some of these things that we talked about, goals and core values, those are on you to come up with. And it can be helpful to have a guide or somebody to talk through those things as you're coming up with them. Perspective on cause and effective is a little bit more difficult because we're very close to the problem a lot of times and we need to be able to step back. So a lot of times it can be helpful to either break it down differently in your mind or have somebody else to talk to, a coach or a mentor or an advisor or even another employee at the company that you can bounce these ideas off and say, this is the problem that I'm trying to solve. This is the solution that I've come up with. Am I thinking about this the right way? Is there anything that I'm missing? Does this feel like it matches up to you? All right, I think we covered some good ground today. If you got value from the message and you want to subscribe to the show, you can find the video on YouTube, you can find the audio in iTunes, and you can find all the episodes and all the show notes on my website, bebuildhave.com. If one of your goals for 2016 is to increase the money that you're making, increase the amount of free time that you have, and break that cycle of being overworked and underpaid, you might enjoy my free report, 3 ways to increase the value of your time, available at bebuildhave.com. Until we speak again, be the person, build a business, and have the successful life you want. But we have to know what those goals are. We have to be... And if the answer is not no, then if sorry, I confused myself. Is the answer yes or is the answer no? I don't know. All right, I'm going to start over.